Hello all, I'm Guna Madhivanan from Officers IAS Academy. Friends, we are coming up with an exclusive live quiz program based on current affairs targeting 2024 prelims on a weekly basis. So every Saturday at 6 p.m. in our Officers Path channel, we will be coming up with this live quiz program. So how to participate? So for which you have to install an mobile application. So go to either App Store or the Google Play Store to download this application named Kahoot application. Download and install it. Alright. So every Saturday at 6 p.m. in the live video, I will be giving you a 7-digit PIN. So you have to enter that 7-digit PIN in your installed application. In the Kahoot application, you have to enter that 7-digit PIN. Or we will give you a QR code. If you are not interested in installing the application, you can scan the QR code in the web browser. You can open the web page. In that you can enter this 7-digit PIN number and you can participate in this quiz program. So once you enter the 7-digit number, the application will ask you to give a username. So you have to give your username. Followed by your username, please give your last 4 digits of your mobile phone number. For example, my username is Guna8990, the last 4 digits of my phone number. So like that you can create your own username. That's all. You are ready to participate in the quiz. So in the live video, I will be showing you the question. The question will be followed by 4 options as usual, A, B, C, D. The 4 options will have a color code, right? So option A, red color, option B, blue color, option C, green color, option D, yellow color. So the 4 options will have 4 different color codes. So in your mobile phone, you have installed the Kahoot application, right? So the Kahoot application in your phone, in your device, it will show you 4 colored box, only 4 colored box. Only in the video which you are watching, in that live video, I will give you the question, followed by that 4 option I will be giving you. The 4 option will have a color code, right? So if you are going to choose A as the right answer, then A has red color, then in your mobile phone you will have a red colored box. You have to choose that. That's all. If the answer which you have chosen is correct, and if you have chosen that quickly, for every question we will give you 60 seconds. Assume that I am choosing A is the right answer, and I am choosing within 20 seconds, within 10 seconds, based on how quickly I choose the question. I have to choose the correct one and I have to choose it as early as possible. So the one who is choosing at the earliest will be given more points. So if I am choosing in 20 seconds, I will be given more points. If someone is choosing at 30 seconds, then relatively lesser points, right? So this is how the quiz will work. So at the end of the program, we will show you the leaderboard. Between the questions also, I will show you the leaderboard. At the end, I will show you the final leaderboard. The one with more number of points will be given a certificate, right? The idea of the quiz program is to provide you a real-time experience of solving the questions along with that competitive environment, right? I hope this program adds more value to your preparation. So along with this, we have a daily current affairs hit list series, daily answer rating initiative. So all these initiatives will give you a competitive edge in your 2024 prelims as well as mains, right? I hope this adds more value to your preparation. So see you in the quiz. Till then, bye, take care.
Hello everybody, so welcome to the quiz for today. And before we start with the quiz, of course, I would like to point out to everybody who is watching that if you have any questions or if you have any situations with you, you can always reach out to the WhatsApp number given in the screen to ask for any things that you want. If you have any feedback, you can share it there also. So that's one thing. The other thing is, yes, if you have friends who don't know about this quiz, please ask them to come and join this quiz, because it is certainly fun to actually take part in a community experiment like this. And also you get to learn a little bit of details while we are solving all these questions. So yeah, it's useful, so please share it with your friends also. Having said all of this, yes, I think it's time that we start with the quiz right away. So let's go to the very first question. And your first question is displayed on the screen. So I'll just read the question. You can read it by yourself also. The Gulf of Mannar is situated along the coast of which of the following states? Yes, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh. So you have these options. Please choose the right option for this question. This Gulf of Mannar, of course, is it's a very ecologically very sensitive site, and it is a place where marine ecosystems thrive. And it is this in the same Gulf of Mannar where government of India has also have been trying to make sure that the area itself is protected from all forms of commercial fishing, as well as any huge ship movements, cargo ship movements in that region, to protect that region. Anyways, I think you just have about some 5 seconds left. Hope you get the answers right. And let's see how you guys have actually answered the question. So you have majority of you giving the answers as option A, Tamil Nadu, which is actually the right answer. Tamil Nadu is the right answer. Tamil Nadu is a state which actually is hosting the Gulf of Mannar along its southern seashore, which is very close to Sri Lanka. It is also bordering the areas of what is now called as Rameshwaram. And yes, this is Gulf of Mannar. And let's look at the leaderboard as to how people have scored and how quick people have scored. You have the top 5 people listed here. And oh yeah, that's very neck and neck. 993, 992, and then 3 991s. Okay, so that's very quick answering on your part, and also giving the right answer. So yes, you have the top 5 people here after the first question. But of course, we have 14 more questions, and we don't know how this leaderboard will change over the next 14 questions. Let's see how it is. Now let's go to the next question now. Second question. Sanskrit is the official language of which of the following states? So this is actually a very interesting question. Not a lot of us will probably know the answer to this question, but I would still encourage all of you to try to give the answer. And let's see what answers you guys come up with before we look at what the right answer is and the explanation for that answer also. There are, of course, so there are almost 100 answers which have already come here, and that's within 30 seconds. Most of you have actually given your answers. Let's see how much more of you are still participating as well as giving the answers to this question. We all, of course, have different views of what the official language of India is, what the official language of different states are. Here you have, of course, this unique language, Sanskrit, and one state having Sanskrit as its official language. Let's see, what is the distribution of the answers? Okay, so most of you have given B, Uttar Pradesh, as the answer. But no, it's actually Uttarakhand. Uttar Pradesh is not. People, of course, go on to think of Uttar Pradesh because everywhere in the history of India, we see that great empires have risen around that region. So if you look at the history, Uttar Pradesh, what is now called as Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Bihar especially, all these are called as Madhya Desa in history. And that's because that is where the fertile Ganga Yamuna Doab region is there. That is where the great empires like that of Mauryas, Guptas, they were all present. Guptas essentially used Sanskrit as their court language, and they were ruling over all these regions. So it's natural for anybody to think that Uttar Pradesh should be the region where Sanskrit is actually used as an official language. Also, we have Kashi and all these places in UP. So yeah, it is heavily influenced by Hinduism. So Sanskrit should be the official language of Uttar Pradesh. That's what we would think. But no, Uttarakhand. In Uttar Pradesh, Hindi is the official language. Uttarakhand is the state where Sanskrit is used. Because historically, way back in history, you should know that there were a lot of Vedic Aryans who moved into India, who first settled down in what is now called as Uttarakhand before moving into the Gangetic Plains. And the history of Vedic Aryans in India and the way how they actually fought multiple battles and everything, it's actually closer to Haryana, Uttarakhand regions than in Uttar Pradesh. So yeah, you have a lot more Sanskritic history in Uttarakhand and Haryana than in Uttar Pradesh, if you look at it from the historical perspective. So Uttarakhand is actually the right answer here. And you have so many people giving different answers, and there is no one option that is getting a lot of answers. It's pretty much evenly distributed. But nevertheless, let's look at the leaderboard after the second question. Let's look at what the situation is. See, the leaderboard is now completely different. So you have 5 people in the top here, and since your names are of course alphanumeric, I'm not able to remember whether any of you here have actually been in the top 5 in the last question itself, but still I think there has been a good amount of shuffling that has happened after the second question. But it's still only 2 questions, we have 13 more to go. Let's go to the third question now. Yes. So the third question, please. Yes. So which Indian first calculated the value of pi? Which Indian first calculated the value of pi? You have 4 options: Varahamera, Aryabhatta, Panini, and Baudhayana. You have 4 people. Give your answers, and then of course we will look at what the actual answer is and how you have given a variety of different answers for this question. But I have a feeling that you guys actually know the answer to this question. It's quite straightforward. But I do want to actually see what your answer distribution is. And there are some interesting facts about pi as a number also, and I would like to talk about that too. You have approximately 10 seconds left, and we have about 126 answers so far. Anybody else is left? Yes, please come and join the test. Okay, time's up. Yeah, most of you have given the right answer. The right answer is Aryabhatta. Yes. See, pi is actually a very unique number in mathematics. Not a whole number, but of course it's a fraction. And a very unique fraction by that way. So it has the distinction of not having repeating numbers. So numbers are not repeating, right? You divide 22 by 7 and the decimal points will go on, but the decimal points will not repeat itself. That is the uniqueness of this pi. So only fraction to have this feature. No other fraction in mathematics with any other numbers, two other numbers will have this feature. So pi is actually a very significant number that it was defined in India by mathematical scholars, Aryabhatta being the first one. But it was also defined by people in Greece, people in Rome. They have also described pi. Indians were able to realize the significance of this fraction by themselves, by ourselves. We didn't have to look at the Greeks and Romans to know that there is something called as pi. We were able to figure it out by ourselves. Like how we were able to figure out the Pythagoras theorem by ourselves. Even though Pythagoras is actually a guy in Greece, Rome region, we actually figured out the Pythagoras theorem and the equations of it by ourselves without having to go through what the Westerners have actually figured out. So yeah, that's there. Pi also has some unique feature, I would say. See, numbers don't repeat in pi. I already told you, you already know that. But you should also know something else about this. It is an infinite sequence where it doesn't stop. You can go on putting numbers and it will go on and on and on without repeating itself, and It's a unique sequence altogether, which means pi actually has your date of birth in it. Do you realize that? Whatever your date of birth is, whoever is watching this quiz right now, whatever your date of birth is, you put it in DDMMYY or YYMMDD, in whichever order it is. In that huge sequence of pi's at decimals, somewhere that combination is there. Because every combination will be there. It is an infinite sequence, right? Every combination will be there. Your phone number will be there in that pi. Somewhere it is there. It's an infinite sequence. Numbers are always going to not repeat and it's going to be unique. So is your phone number. It will be there. Every number that you can think of in whichever order will be there in pi. Do you understand? That is the significance of this one mathematical fraction, 22/7 pi. Anyways, this is actually what I wanted to tell you with regards to this answer. But yes, we have to look at the leaderboard now and see if there is any change. There isn't a lot of change. In fact, the first person, Preeti, is still the first. And there are others who have switched places with some other groups. And we will now go on to the next question. Now, fourth question. Where is the largest shipyard in India located? Where is it located? We have to know. So you have 4 different port cities listed here. Think before you answer, because all 4 are very big port cities and all 4 are extremely important for Indian trade and commerce, Indian finance, for just general transportation. And all 4 of them have shipyards. They all have shipyards. The largest shipyard is what they are actually asking. And you might, of course, think of some answers. Let's actually see what your thought process is. I'm very curious to know. I have a feeling that some of you may actually choose an answer which you would really think is true, but it may not be. Let's see, the time's up. And most of you have gone for Visakhapatnam and Mumbai. Very few have given Chennai. Okay, Chennai is a big shipyard, has a big shipyard, dude. Why is it so low? But nevertheless, the answer is Kochi. Kochi has the largest shipyard in India. So yeah, this is actually a question where I was hoping that you would choose Kochi, but I also knew that some of you will go towards Mumbai or Visakhapatnam, because Visakhapatnam has a huge naval base also. So it makes sense that there is, of course, a huge shipyard there. Mumbai, I understand, because commercial capital of India, as well as it has a huge shipyard for its own trade and commerce perspective. But the actual largest shipyard in India is actually in Kochi, not anywhere else. It's one of the very important port cities of India, a strategic port actually. So yeah, that is the answer. And we look at the leaderboard now. Is there any change? Oh no, there is a lot of change in the position, and our contender Preeti is still in the top actually. So that's after 4 questions, I think. Yeah, 4 questions. Let's see, we have 11 more questions to go. The next question, we'll go to 5th question. Who is the father of Indian Green Revolution? So you have 4 options here. So please look at the options and give your solutions. Whatever your answer is, please give that answer. You have 4 options and you have an idea as to who it would be. And I'm guessing that most of you will get the answer right. And this green revolution as a concept, what exactly happened and why is it significant? How come this green revolution, which happened a few decades ago, is still being talked about in India? I certainly would like to give my thoughts on all of that also. But yeah, you have about some 10 seconds left. And most of you have given your answers. So let's see how the distribution is. And most of you have given option C. Yeah, proper. M.S. Swaminathan is the answer. Yes. M.S. Swaminathan, who very recently passed away, unfortunately. Yes, he is the father of Indian Green Revolution. Most of you have given the right answer. See, Green Revolution is one event in post-independent India which changed the course of Indian politics, Indian economy, and Indian people's ambitions. See, at one point in time, we didn't have food to feed our own people, and we were dependent on food grains from US, America, United States of America. And these Americans, they were putting a lot of harsh conditions on the Indian government to give food to India. Those conditions make sure that India does not side with Soviet Union. Mind you, back then Cold War was going on between America and Soviet Union. So India was actually held very, very tightly under the American grip during this time, and the Americans were actually quite harsh, and as a result, Indian government felt the need to be self-sufficient in terms of producing our own food. So they decided we should never ever have the situation where we go to others for food. We should make food by ourselves. That is when they brought in high yield variety seeds. M.S. Swaminathan was one of the eminent scientists of that time, who was instrumental in ensuring that those high yield variety seeds are created and are implemented for the Indian conditions in different parts of India. So states like Punjab, Haryana, which are like the bread basket of India, the food bowl of India, all of them, including Tamil Nadu, yes, all these states actually had a lot of production, bumper crop production, because of these high yield variety seeds. So yeah, after a few years, Indian government told Americans, we no longer want your food grains here onwards because we are producing ourselves. In fact, we are producing so much that we can supply food grains to others also. That is how Green Revolution changed the geopolitics of South Asia. And after that, the Americans could not really hold on to India and Indian politics under their control. That is how it changed. Green Revolution has a lot of plus and minus, because on the plus side, as I told you, India was able to be self-sufficient. But on the negative side, it actually caused a lot of land degradation, ecological destruction, overuse of water, excessive use of fertilizers, overuse of pesticides. So all these are other environmental problems that came because of Green Revolution. But still, this is still a huge step for India, because without Green Revolution, most of us watching and the one who are hosting and the technical side, we won't even exist, because our parents wouldn't have even survived. Their parents wouldn't have even survived if not for Green Revolution. It gave Indians food so that Indians can survive over the decades of 1960s, 1970s, 1980s. That is Green Revolution. Anyways, that is the answer to the fifth question. Let's look at the leaderboard. Any change? Yes. Oh, there are no changes actually. The people who actually gave the answers earlier and who occupied the same slots as earlier are still occupying the same slots even now. The top 5 have not changed. Okay. Let's look at the sixth question now. Sixth question, please. The first IIT that was established was what? IIT Delhi, IIT Kanpur, IIT Kharagpur, IIT Madras. Yes. Think about the answer to this question. Some of you may get it right. Some of you may come very close to the answer. But yeah, IIT, Indian Institute of Technology, which is a very strategic institution in India in terms of offering expertise to the Indian government on various technical aspects, was established in India long back. It was established during the time of Jawaharlal Nehru. But then, which was the first IIT that was established? You have approximately 10 seconds. Most of you have given your answers. Some of you haven't. Yes, I'm waiting for your answers. And let's look at the distribution. Most of you have given the right answer. It is IIT Kharagpur. IIT Kharagpur is the right answer. And IITs, you should know, today there are more than 20 IITs actually. More than 20 IITs are there. It is it's an institutions, or it's a group of institutions of national importance. But all these IITs came only recently, not in history of India. We had 20 plus IITs. For many years it was only 4 to 7 IITs, and later of course it was expanded very recently, and now pretty much every state has an IIT for itself. So yeah, this IIT was established during the time of Nehru with expertise from Indian leaders, Indian ministers, and also from Germany. So West Germany helped in setting up of Indian Institute of Technologies all over India, especially IIT Kharagpur and IIT Madras. That's my answer to you. Let's look at the leaderboard now. Any change? There is a little bit of a change here. Some positions are swapped and some new people have come. But the top two, Preeti and Mukhil, are still on the top. Let's see as to what happens with the next question. Let's go for question number 7. On which river bank is Goa located? Goa, the party town of India. Yes, that Goa is located on which river bank? They're asking. Ganga, Mandovi, Gomati, Sabarmati. So you have 4 different options. Please choose the option that you think is the right answer, and eventually, yes, we will look at the answering distribution. Once you choose the answer, you will know exactly what the answer would be, what the right answer would be. But yes, I am curious to know how many of you get this right. Because if somebody asked questions on some common river, or if the names are very common, all 4 are very common, and the city is also very commonly known to have existed along that river, everybody can answer. With Goa, I am curious to know how many of you get the right answer. And the time's up. Let's look at the distribution. Most of you have given the right answer. That's good. That's good. Most of you have given the right answer. Mandovi, also known as Mahadai River. That is the answer. See, this Mandovi River or Mahadai River is shared between Goa, Maharashtra, Karnataka. 3 states, and all 3 of them actually have water disputes with this one river. Mahadai River or Mahadai River or Mandovi River. It's called in 3 different names in 3 different states. Sorry, not cities, states. Karnataka, Maharashtra and Goa. All 3 states actually have disputes with regards to the sharing of this one river water. And there is one more detail that I would like to tell. There is this bird sanctuary in Goa that is called as Dr. Salim Ali Bird Sanctuary. That bird sanctuary also lies very close to, almost on the banks of Mandovi River only. And Salim Ali Bird Sanctuary is actually situated alongside the backwaters also, backwaters of the Arabian Sea. But yes, this Mandovi River is also flowing right next to it. And it is that river which actually provides for water for the state of Goa itself. Mainly that is a river. Dr. Salim Ali is also, of course, the birdman of India, the father of Indian ornithology. That's it. And yes, let's look at the leaderboard now. Who is situated where? Okay, there is just one change now. Top 2 places holding on. In fact, not top 2, top 4 places are actually holding on. The 5th place is now swapped with another person. And we will continue to, so there is this one person, RVM1719, who is the highest climber here, meaning you have climbed 31 places in the leaderboard, which is actually a huge achievement, which means you were very quick in giving the right answer to this question at least. So yeah, so yes, you still have a lot of questions ahead. Answer them, continue to answer them properly. Next question, 8th question, let's go. So which state is known as India's Spice Garden? You have 4 options: Kerala, Karnataka, Assam, Andhra Pradesh. 4 options are there, and I am very certain that most of you will give the right answer here. And there is a lot of legacy for Indian spices all over the world. We know that Indian spices have been getting exported all over the world throughout our history, and we have the Europeans themselves coming to India in search of spice only. They were trying to come to India because they wanted spice. So yeah, India is known for its spices, and there is one place in India which is called as a spice garden. What is that place is the question, and I think most of you have given your answers. Guessing the right answer. The time's up, and let's look at the trend. Yeah, most of you have given the right answer. It is, of course, Kerala. Some of you have given Andhra Pradesh as the right answer, because of course everybody thinks of Andhra when they think of spice, red chilies and everything. Yes, Andhra cuisine is quite spicy, but the spice garden of India denotes the place in India where a lot of spices are cultivated, and that would be Kerala. In fact, historically, where did Vasco da Gama land? In Kozhikode, Calicut, which is a place in Kerala. That is where he actually purchased a lot of pepper and other spices, and then he took it back to Portugal. So yes, Kerala has always been the spice center of India. Yes, truly it is the spice garden of India. Spices in India are in high demand. They were in high demand all over the world, especially in Europe, because Indian pepper is what the Europeans desperately needed to preserve their meat during winter. Because in winter they can't cultivate any crops. It's fully covered in snow. They can't cultivate any crops. They have to live off of meat. And to preserve that meat, they have to apply this pepper powder on top of it to protect the meat so that they can consume. So if pepper is not available, they will starve to death. That's how serious the dependency was there for the Europeans over Indian spice. That's why Portuguese also came to India. So yes, spice garden truly would be Kerala. That is the answer. So let's look at the leaderboard. Any changes? No changes. The same set of people are actually there, and 5 players have lost their answer streak of 3 questions, getting it continuously, but it's okay. It's all in the game. We will now move to the next question. 9th question. What was the code name of the nuclear test done by India on 18th May 1974 in Pokhran? What is the code name? Yes, you have Operation Vijay, Operation Shakti, Smiling Buddha, Operation Ashwamedh. You have 4 different options. Yes, choose whichever option you think is the right answer. So this Pokhran test, it was conducted during the time of Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, and it was conducted at a very, very vulnerable state, when the entire world was vulnerable, because nuclear weapons are very deadly, and everybody wanted to make sure that India doesn't have a nuclear weapon. But India still went ahead to make her own weapon, which was actually demonstrated in this Pokhran test. So what is the operational name of that test is the question. Let's look at the distribution of your answers. Oh, most of you have given Smiling Buddha. Super. That is the answer. Smiling Buddha is the right answer. So what happened was, the test was actually set up in one place. Americans, Soviets, none of them really wanted India to possess a nuclear weapon, because already they possess nuclear weapons, and if we also possess, it's a threat to them. What if we go and attack them? We are not going to attack anybody. We are a peace-loving nation. But possession of nuclear weapons itself is going to start an arms race, which the Americans and the Soviets could not control. And therefore, they were trying to prevent India from getting nuclear weapons. So many attempts, so many sabotages were done. But what the Indian government did was, they set up the entire testing situation, testing site in one part of India, as if that is where the test is going to happen, the nuclear test is going to happen, while actually conducting the test somewhere else. So yeah, they set up everything in one part of India while the test was actually conducted in Pokhran. And while all of the spy satellites were focusing on this area, test was finished somewhere else. And after the test is finished, the person who is in charge of this, the commanding officer who ran the test, who was able to successfully find that the explosion was possible, went to a local, this actually happened, local payphone, and he called from that payphone. He asked to connect to the Prime Minister's office, and then he told on the call, Buddha has smiled. That is where the actual terminology comes, smiling Buddha. So yes, this is the operational name for the Pokhran test of 1974. Now let's look at the leaderboard as to what the situation is. No change. Okay. So you have Preeti leading the pack, followed by Mukhil, and then you have Sampa 1107, Kavya, and Vishal BS, I think. Okay, fine. 5 people are there, consistently holding the lead. Let's go to the next question to see if there is any change. Which country are the Giza pyramids in? Okay, in which country it is present? That is the question. You have 4 options here. Sinai Peninsula, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Egypt. You have 4 options here. And within 20 seconds, most of you have given your answers. And let's see. Okay, there are approximately 130 of you, I think, taking part. Almost 118 of you have given your answers, and it's close to 120 now. And we will, of course, be able to see how your answers are distributed. I have a feeling that you will be, most of you will be giving the very obviously right answer. And let's see how the distribution is. Yes, most of you have given Egypt as the answer. Yes, the pharaoh, I think his name is Khufu, I think. So he was the one who I think built the pyramid of the Great Pyramid of Giza, as well as he was the one who is rested in the pyramid also, if I'm right. So that's there. And in this option you have Sinai Peninsula and Egypt. Sinai Peninsula is actually a part of Egypt only. It's a part of Egypt only. But anyways, it's just to throw you off the balance. So if you had chosen Sinai Peninsula, that's also in Egypt, will that be the right answer? No. The pyramids are not in Sinai Peninsula of Egypt. It is found in some other place of Egypt. Okay. But anyways, that is the answer to the 10th question. Let's look at the leaderboard. Any change? No change. Okay. So the lead is still maintained by Preeti, and then followed by Mukhil, and then you have Sampa, Kavya, Vishal. Okay. Let's go to the next question now. 11th question. This is actually a very nice question, and I would like to know the answers that you're going to give. Highest dam of India is what? Highest dam, they're asking. So you have 4 examples here, 4 options, and I would like to see how you choose your options, because I have a feeling like you have your own knowledge from the past, which is telling you what the answer is. And already most of you have given the answers, and you already know what those who have given the answers would already know what the right answer is. And you have Bakranangal, Theri, Mullai Periyar, Krishnaraja Sagar. All 4 options are there. All are very significant dams in India. Let's look at the answering distribution, how it is there. Oh, as I expected, most of you gave Bakranangal Dam. Bakranangal Dam was one of the earliest projects of independent India. And I think if I'm right, it was completed very close to the Sino-Indian War or just after that, maybe a couple of years, 62, 63 is when the Bakranangal Dam project was completed. It is supposedly, not supposedly, it's truly one of the biggest projects undertaken by independent India, and it was supposed to actually help the growth of Indian economy, and it truly was, it truly still is. But the Theri Dam in Uttarakhand is the highest dam of India, located at a much higher altitude, and yes, it is actually the highest dam. Mullai Periyar is that one dam that is actually present inside the borders of Kerala but controlled by the government of Tamil Nadu, which often comes in the news because there is river water sharing disputes between the two states. But Krishnarajasagar Dam is there in Karnataka. So that dam is actually built by the donations of the Mysore king, who actually gave his wealth for the construction of this dam for the welfare of his people. So that's a different story altogether. Point being, yes, all these four dams have their own significance. The answer to this question, however, is Theri Dam. Let's look at the leaderboard and see if there is any shuffling. Finally, there is some shuffling. Some of you have come into the top 3 and some of you have gone out of the top 5 also. Okay, so you have a newly arranged sequence here. Not every position has changed. First and fourth position is still the same, but everybody else is actually changed. Let's see what happens in the next 4 questions. Let's go to the 12th one. 12th question. What crop is famously grown in the region of Darjeeling? So here you have 4 options. Think well before you give the answer. And you have cardamom, tea, pepper, coffee. 4 plantation crops which are grown alongside the hilly slopes. Yes, 4 plantation crops are there. All 4 are actually significant. Pretty much all 4 of them are grown as plantations only. And in Darjeeling also, yes, certainly one or more than one of this is grown. But what is so famous in Darjeeling is the question. You have a few more seconds left. So who haven't given the answers? There are some of you who haven't given your answers. Think and give your answer. So after this, let's look at the distribution. Tea. Yes, tea is the answer. For your information, all 4, as I told, are plantation crops. They're all plantation cultivated. Darjeeling is known for tea. It is also known for a little bit of coffee and cardamom also, mainly tea and coffee. Okay, so that's your answer. Let's look at the leaderboard and see where everybody stands. Oh, there is change. Okay, I didn't expect this. Okay, so there is change in 3rd and 4th place, but of course the top 2 are still unchanged and the 5th place is also not changed. And we have new people entering into the leaderboard. So this is what keeps this game very interesting. But it of course all boils down to how quick you are in giving the right answer. Nevertheless, we will now move on to the 13th question. It's a very interesting question. Which is the largest saltwater lake in India? Saltwater lake, they are saying. Saltwater, okay? Remember that. So in that sense, what would be the answer? You have Chilika Lake, Dal Lake, Pulicat Lake, Kollero Lake. Just so you know, some of these options have come in UPSC prelims examination too. They have come in UPSC prelims examination. And all 4 that are listed here have high significance in terms of being very important in terms of ecology. All of them are important for ecology, but there is only one salt lake, a saltwater lake, that is called as the largest lake in India. So what is that one lake? Should be your answer. And I'm waiting for the distribution. Let's see. Most of you have given Chilika Lake, which is actually the right answer. Chilika Lake is present in what is now modern day Odisha. And this Chilika Lake is also known for its bird sanctuary. It's known for its bird sanctuary. This Chilika Lake is an eco-sensitive zone. It is protected by the Government of India through various laws, and it is truly the largest saltwater lake in India. It is connected to the sea through a small channel, but mostly it's a saltwater lake. So is Pulicat Lake. Pulicat Lake is very close to Chennai. It's between Chennai's northernmost border and Andhra's border. So that is where the Pulicat Lake is. So Sriharikota, the launch site, is very close to Pulicat Lake. So that is another saltwater lake that is present in southern part of India. Let's look at the leaderboard. Any change? Changes are there. New people are coming into the top 5. And now Kavya, who has been in the 4th and 5th place all this time, 3rd place also, has now moved to 2nd place. And you have another Kavya coming into the 5th place also. Okay, so this is interesting. So we have how many? 2 more questions left. Let's see what happens at the end of those 2 questions. Let's go to the 14th question. Which Indian city is known as the Silicon Valley of India? Come on, you should know the answer to this question. It's so easy to answer. And you have the answer right on your fingertips. I just hope that you give the answers as soon as possible to score as many points to come up in the leaderboard. But yeah, the Silicon Valley of India. Silicon Valley, of course, it is there in California in US. That is where a lot of economic activities happen because of the nature of trade and business that goes on over there. And in the same way, of course, in India also, yes, you have a place which is called as the Silicon Valley of India because of the same kind of trade going on here also. The distribution is, I am hoping, yes, most of you gave Bengaluru, and that is the right answer. Yes, Bengaluru is the Silicon Valley of India. Silicon Valley is the place where you have all these software giants, all these tech companies in USA. So Bengaluru is the hub of technology and tech companies in India. So Bengaluru obviously gets to be called as the Silicon Valley of India. So that's an obvious answer. So here you have most of you choosing Bengaluru is the answer. And let's look at the leaderboard now. Oh, okay, some of you have given an answer, I think, a little ahead, and therefore you have actually moved up in the leaderboard. And Preeti is still there in the top, almost a lead of 1,000 points she has. But yes, this is actually quite interesting. Let's look at the last question and see what the answers are and the final ranking is. What is the name of India's first satellite? First satellite that is truly Indian. What is the answer? So we have 4 options here: Bhaskara, Aryabhatta, Rohini, and Yesros C. 4 options are there. Just so you know, all 4 of them are satellites launched by India. All 4 of them are Indian satellites only. But which is the first one is the question here. So I'm guessing most of you would have given the answers by now. And the Satellite launching capacity, India by itself did not really have originally, but India developed it over time. We look at that, but let's first look at the answers. Okay, this is the one question where most of you have given the right answer. Yes, it is actually Aryabhatta. That is the answer. And we launched it with the help of Soviet Russia. Soviet Union was the one which helped us to launch the satellite into space. And I don't remember the technical details myself as to how long it was active and what its purpose was. But it was the first satellite that is ever launched by India into space. The first Indian astronaut, or you can say cosmonaut, or Gaganyaan as we would now call, would be Rakesh Sharma, the great Rakesh Sharma, who by the way is still active and kicking. He is still present in the country. Even very recently, the chief of NASA, when he visited India, he met with Rakesh Sharma. So that is the detail about Indian space ambitions. But I think with this question, we have come to the end of this quiz show, and let's look at the final leaderboard. So you have Kavya in third place, and you have Sampa in second place, and yes, you have Preeti in the first place. Yes, all three of you, congratulations. And I would like to congratulate everybody else who actually participated till the end and who was having fun in this quiz competition. Just know that we will be conducting this session every week. Every week we are conducting. Next Wednesday also we'll be conducting. So please invite more of your friends to come and join. It's open for everybody. It's open for everybody. Anybody can come and join. You don't have to be in this college or that college, or you don't have to be a UPSC aspirant or anything. Everybody is welcome. So please come and participate more, learn more. It's fun. And I would also like to tell one thing before I depart, which is the people who are in the top 5 places in the leaderboard, please take a screenshot of your score and your ID that is displayed in your app, in your screen in the app, Kahoot app, and share it to the number given in the screen, WhatsApp number given in the screen, because we will be sending the e-certificates, electronic certificates, to the top 5 winners of every quiz. So yes, you can avail your certificates by taking a screenshot of your scores and sending it to the WhatsApp number given on the screen. Okay, so yes, this was fun, and see you again